East Hartford. We had another town council meeting last night, and here are the updates. So going right from the top, we had probably one of the longest town council meetings we've had in quite some time, and that was due to a presentation by our actuaries about our long-term pension obligations, including OPEB, which are other post-employment benefits, as well as an update from our finance director on some of our big financial trust funds, such as the OPEB trust fund, medical claims, health insurance funds, workers' comp fund, as well as our long-term debt. All things that help are prerequisites to our budget season, which starts on Monday the 24th at 6 p.m. here at the Town Council chambers. So really just to give you a quick snapshot of this presentation, it talked about our long-term obligations being our pension. It talked about the equity side and the fixed income side of our pension investments. Just so you guys know, the town of East Hartford has about $546 million in pension liability. Majority of that liability is from past employees' benefits being continuing to be paid. We have about $300 million in assets to cover that pension liability. So our pension fund, our pension plan only funds about 44% of our pension. And so every year, the town contributes to that pension fund to slowly chip away at that liability. We have about 19 years left in chipping away at this liability until we get to a normal cost of $3 million a year. That is significantly lower than this year's contribution, which is slated to be around $26 million in pension contributions, once again, to chip away at that pension liability until we get to the normal cost of $3 million. That normal cost accounts for those who are actively in the plan right now. As I mentioned, this past liability is for folks who no longer work here in the town of East Hartford, but are being paid a pension. These are just past benefits that they were entitled to. At the end of the day, really the reality of this is the town did not put forth enough money in decades in the past to start chipping away at this liability. And unfortunately, we are in the middle of trying to chip away at it now. As I mentioned, 19 years to go, and possible contribution this year of $26 million to the pension fund from the town's budget. Fast forwarding to our new business, we had a request for a bid waiver from the police department, and that were two bid waiver requests. One was for communication equipment and data services from Goosetown Communications. Goosetown Communications is our current vendor. We did seek three quotes. Goosetown was the middle quote, so they were not the lowest, but they were the middle quote. We still sought a bid waiver with them because they specialize in this sort of equipment. And the equipment I'm talking about is the installation of radios and data technology equipment in all of our police vehicles. We did get a grant for this this communications equipment in the amount of $30,000 from the state. So this is not impacting the general fund. It is a grant from the state at $30,000 that is covering both the removal of the old equipment as well as the install of the new equipment by Goosetown Communication. The second bid waiver that the police department was seeking was for auto theft detection and prevention technology from StarChase and auto theft detection technology. And what that looks like is the police department having the ability to tag cars in the state of Connecticut. Police departments are not allowed to chase people. They're not allowed to box people in. And so this is utilizing technology to both track a vehicle, tag them without us having to chase them, and then monitoring where that vehicle goes. And once it stops, being able to converge on it and either recover a stolen vehicle or, like I said, address someone who basically ran from a traffic stop. Council did have more questions on this that the police department did not have answers for at the time. So the council had actually tabled that item and is probably going to push it to future meetings for a future discussion. As you guys know, we are pursuing other technologies like speed cameras, red light cameras, stop sign cameras. We're going to group that into that conversation as it's once again a technology tool that the police department would be using to help with their enforcement efforts. So we'll make sure that that's a part of that discussion. But for now, the item was not approved. It was tabled and for further discussion. Our next agenda item was the recommendations from the ordinance committee, reason being the illegal sale of cannabis ordinance. So the 30-day waiting period after it goes into effect from last night. And that is once again to regulate and hold businesses accountable that illegally sell marijuana. So these are businesses that could be smoke shops, could be convenience stores, could be gas stations, anything outside of a dispensary. Once again, we now have the tools in place to be able to shut these folks down should we find them to be in violation of selling illegal cannabis. Our next item is a referral to Real Estate Acquisition and Disposition Committee. This is the subcommittee of the council that either approves the selling or the buying of town-owned property. And so we are referring to the Real Estate Acquisition and Disposition Committee to sell town-owned property at 224 and 226 Main Street to Habitat for Humanity to build new houses on it. So overall positive project, similar to the projects they did at Chester and Forbes, and very similar to the project they're doing on Burnside Ave, where they're building 10 single-family homes. So for us, really positive to get property off of the town's belt onto the tax roll, and obviously to Habitat for Humanity to build some beautiful new homes. Our last item on the agenda is actually second to last item on the agenda is the amusement permit applications. We got a lot happening this spring. And so the council did approve the amusement permit applications for the Easter egg hunt, the Touch a Truck event, the 2025 Memorial Day Parade, as well as the 2025 Lung Force Walk. And then the last item we had was a refund in taxes. This is pretty common to every single item that we have. Every single agenda that we have. And essentially, this is for folks who overpay in their taxes. They are entitled to a refund, so we will be issuing them a refund on their taxes. And then the agenda pretty much finished up with a number of tax appeals being settled from a new owner who had bought pretty much a lot of the property in Prestige Park. For us, settling these tax appeals gets the taxes back to the town. So overall, we're happy to chip away at these tax appeals that we have. We only have about a few left, I believe. So this takes a large chunk of those tax appeals and gets them back on the tax roll. Alrighty, Sarford, that's what we have for the agenda. If you want any more information, by always follow the link to the town council agenda packet so you can get all the details on the agenda items I just updated you on. You can also watch it from Channel 5, or you can watch it on our website under Channel 5's webpage to see the entire meeting recording. And like I said, stay tuned for next council meeting. Just a reminder, budget workshops start February 24th, Monday at 6 p.m. here at the town council chambers. Alrighty, Sarford, we'll talk to you soon.